Good afternoon, everyone. I am going to apologise about the YouTube channel to start with. I've been in England since the 3rd of October, which is like 23 days already, and I actually put a load of old videos that need re-uploading, and they're not going very popular, but I really wanted the videos re-uploaded. So I will mark stuff as updates or, you know, Pattaya or just general stuff which gets people back on the channel. So this one will be marked as a update. Actually, I'm going to include a Pattaya update, which isn't on my list, so bear with me. It might be a little bit of a long video today, but I've got a few things to say about stuff that I've noticed in Farangland and stuff that I've been going through. And a few issues in Pattaya as well. I'll do it at the end if I don't forget. Actually, I'll just write it down now so I don't forget. I don't edit my videos and I don't, I just do them in one go. So I'll just edit that. Right. So, first of all, my uncle is extremely ill. He's actually got brain cancer and it's been going on for 2 years now. He was given 6 months. Someone said that, he's at the end. So what I did is I flew straight to England to try and be a good family member, because as I've got a little bit older, I realised that I should be there for people in my family. But it's very difficult to see a 67-year-old guy that's looked after his body, looked after everything, to be consumed by in such a horrible way. Now he's actually in a care home, but I said to him I'm going to be there for him every day. And he was in hospital when I first got here. Now, I've just been on a 3-day holiday to Devon at the moment. We're down south at the moment, Brixham, where we are at the moment. Tomorrow I'm going to go back to Coventry, spend a few days with my auntie. My auntie's just been through cancer herself and she's getting much better. She's had a little bit of an infection recently, but anyway, she's getting better. But I've been seeing a lot of family. I want to be careful what I say. I've seen a lot of mindset and a lot of things in England that have kind of made me realise why I've left, and some of the things that some of the mindsets that my family and friends have. I find it very challenging. Also, there's a few things that I realised why I left England in the first place. So when I've been facing my sick uncle, it's kind of like making me think about getting my stuff sorted. And one of the things I'm trying to do in this England trip, is to start a business here, or a small one. It's going to be an online one by the look of it. So my wife, Dunn, she's going to go home on the 5th of November, and I'm going to stay here an extra week probably, and I'm going to get a load of work done. Anthony's going to go skiing every day. Anthony had 2 lessons of skiing, and he's been on the slopes 9 hours. God, I've got hamster cheeks again. Yeah, I've been eating really bad food for the first few weeks, but I'm back to eating better food now. Anthony's been skiing while I've been working. £23 for 3 hours. He can go on the slope himself. It's a cheap babysitter. Dunn and Vinny have been here for about a week or two now, probably 2 weeks. And on the 31st, we're going to go to Yorkshire for 4 days and stay in a static caravan because my wife wants to experience it. And we're going to see some friends and family that we haven't seen for 10 years. So I want to spend a solid 3-4 days with them. But it's going to be funny. When I looked at the review of these caravan places, I was just like, oh, this is going to be tough. I feel like stabbing myself. No offense to people, but I kind of feel like my holidays are a little bit different to the old life. When we were kids, we used to stay in caravans all the time. And, it's a perfectly fine holiday. But compared to holiday in Thailand and some of the other places we've visited, like North Korea, China, Everest Base Camp, it's a lot different. So yeah, I've been traveling non-stop, 114 miles a day. I haven't been able to make videos. I've been barely keeping up with work. I've got this big job list on a document. I'm going to do all of that before I get back to Thailand, which gives me an incentive to do it all quickly. I'm trying to work away at the moment, so when my wife does go home, I don't need that many days to work solidly. one of the issues I have in Pattaya is that I just can't get much work done because I'm constantly being messaged. Now I'm just telling everyone I'm not there. If you want to message me, just tell me your pitch or whatever. Or if you want a job, just tell me whatever you need. Just message me and I'll put it to the right person. The days of meeting people constantly, sadly, are going to have to end. What I've done is I've done a pro booking um, schedule thing, and I'm going to put that on my YouTube channel. If people want my time, they can book me on there. I'm going to put on there soon, and they can pay me for my time because I do have a lot of value, but I'm not going to give bar advice for whatever I charge. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm getting inundated constantly with people asking me for things all the time. A guy the other day, he said he needs to meet me, and I just said, look, just tell me why, please. And he was trying to meet me about something that had completely different to what I said. And I just thought, okay, well, I would have wasted 2 hours on that. Seeing people socially is different to seeing people that want something off me. I will be attending Nick Dean's meetings sometimes down Soy 7, and I will be seeing people here and there. I'm not saying no to that. I'm just saying that there's always someone arriving and I've got little time. So one thing I've done is I was watching YouTube too much, so I've cancelled YouTube completely. I recommend everyone does the same, even though I've got a YouTube channel. I was barely watching Netflix. I've cancelled that too, and I wasn't watching news, and now I'm not watching any news at all. I see people watching politics here constantly. I'm like, that's a hobby. It's not work. Like, is it a pleasure? Because you've got no control over it. You've just got anger. I was sat with a guy the other day that was angry about the world. Donald Trump's doing this, conspiracies. And I'm like, dude, get a job. Like, do something, create something. You've got no control over all of this. There's absolutely no point watching politics unless you think your vote is going to help, or you are just interested in it. If you're interested in it, fair enough. If that's a hobby, fair enough. It's not going to make you money. A few people say, yeah, but I need to know because of my property and all these other decisions they're going to make. But all you can do is watch property forums, and someone in there will keep an eye, and they'll be doing updates on there. So there you go. A quick Pattaya update. There was a nightclub raided recently, and when they were raided for drugs and everything else, don't quote me on this because I haven't double checked and I don't watch the news, but my news team mentioned it. And when they got raided, they're saying, yeah, but we're paying the police. So, and then the police are saying, who are you? And it's been kicking off big time in Pattaya. And a lady that's friends with my wife has stepped up to say, none of us are paying the police. And a few people have asked me about this, and I said, look, she's taken the bullet for us. So, fair enough. Everyone knows that everyone's paying the Rozzers. And Bangkok is doing the same. Everywhere in Thailand is doing the same. Unfortunately, that person's going to look like a liar now, but they're actually trying to help things. But I think the exercise is probably pointless because everyone knows the score. But we've been told to close again early, and because of all this crap going on. And there's people from high up above looking at Pattaya again. So these constant closures and openings late at night, it doesn't affect our bars too much, but it's affecting the nightclubs and some of the go-go's. Because 1 minute they're allowed to open till 4, next minute it's 2 a.m. I really wish that someone could step up and just say, look, you told us 3 a.m. before, let's stick to that, even though our licenses say 12 o'clock. Let's keep to that. So that's my Pattaya update. I thought we had 13 bars open, but we've closed, but we've actually got 6 left to open, and we've got a few renovations to do. So I'm doing okay. One thing I've noticed about the UK is that there's adults trying to be children's friends a lot. You don't see that much in Thailand. I think it's a different style of parenting, but I think that's risky. My children generally don't really like me so much because I'm the one telling them off. But if they need help, they come to me. I have to be the one that is telling them off, but I try to be fair and nice at the same time. So when I was looking for a caravan to stay in Yorkshire, where my family stay, I was looking at some of the reviews, And one of the reviews said that this Haven resort that I was looking at didn't have enough diversity amongst the work group, and there was too many Caucasian people working there, and that this white person's Chinese husband didn't feel comfortable. And I'm thinking, oh Jesus Christ, where is this person? Oh no, I wouldn't last 5 minutes in England. Just I'm too straight talking. I have no issues about race and stuff like that, but all the adverts is one black kid, one Asian, one white guy, and then one Indian. So I seen an advert the other day. It had a black guy, a Chinese, a white person, and an Indian. And I'm just thinking, like, fine, mix it up. I have no issues. But when you're purposely trying to do this constantly just to keep a couple of people happy, the world's just gone mad. Just let everyone be. Like, yes, we should employ different people. Anyway, I'm going to stop saying it before I get cancelled online. Maybe I need to make a humorous video about it, because then you can really take the piss. I had a few more words for Britain. Disabled Britain. I notice a lot of disabled people here. In poor countries, you can't afford to be disabled. You have to work. And if you're disabled, I'm not saying to the people that have genuine issues. I'm talking about the people that have eaten so much that they can't walk anymore, and now they need, or they've sucked on loads of cigarettes, or they're boozed it. I'm not talking about the genuine cases where people can't work. I also question a guy why he can't work online, because the benefits is small money, but he'd rather complain than do nothing and moan about his benefits. And I said to this dude, why don't you work online and make more money? No, because the government won't let me. I'm disabled. I'm like, okay, fine. And one thing I've learned about changing people's minds is that there's a lot of people out there that have a very fixed mindset. Sugar Britain as well. What I've noticed here is there's a lot of sugar everywhere. I went in the petrol station and it's just chocolate bars and sugar. And I actually said to the guy, is there anything healthy for the kids? And they just said no. And then another one I'd say is Benefits Britain, because there's a lot of people on benefits here, and a lot of people think that they're getting entitled to benefits, and they think that's a win, when I think that's a bit of a fail, unless you genuinely need it. Now, there's a lot of people out there that I don't think genuinely need it. So I think I mentioned this already. No YouTube at all, no Netflix, and no news. And I don't care anymore if I don't know anything, and I don't care if people don't think I'm stupid. But one thing I've been doing is I've been writing my jobs down on a list, and I say, instead of learning, well, I will watch YouTube if I need to learn something like a software review. If I need to listen to something like Jordan Peterson, I'm going to try and get a book or an audio video where it's pure quality and not people constantly debating stuff. So I will watch YouTube if it's briefly. If I do forward a YouTube video, it's because someone sent it to me and I've seen it before, or I think it's of value to someone. But I've actually been sent a few videos and I've just scanned through it like a few seconds. And I've also, one guy sent me sent me a message the other day. He said, Brian, I like your channel, and I live in Thailand. I've got this really good crypto scheme that, you know, I want to share with you. And I'm just like, before I would just say, yeah, I'll have a look at it. Now I said, no, I'm not interested, but I'll forward it to 3 of my crypto friends who might be interested. And it was just a scam. And instead of saying it's a scam, I just said, no, it's an MLM thing, and I blocked him. That was it. Normally I would, sometimes I tell people the truth, they don't like it, so I've stopped doing that now. There's a guy that's getting ripped off buying a business, and he was trying to drag me into it. And before I would have said, look, dude, you're getting ripped off, but I just get shit for it and I never win anything. So I said, good luck with that, dude, but a polite no. That's what I told him. So anyway, I've just had enough of it all, and I want more peace with myself. So I'm just going to be more polite to people. If I see them having problems ahead, unless it's a close friend, I'm not going to say anything. This guy could approach me and say, I want your consulting services. I would help him. I would tell him the truth straight away. but I don't even want to do that anymore because people don't listen. There was a Korean guy I was trying to help. I think I told you guys about him. The first problem he had is his builder was a thief and a bad one, and I warned him, and he said, yeah, but this builder's cheaper than the one you've suggested. And I'm like, he hasn't even listed the proper materials on there. Anyway, this guy took him for a real good ride, took all his money, ran off, did barely any work, and this Korean guy's like, you know, Brian, can you still help me with my police matters and all these other things? And I'm just like, nope, that was it. You didn't listen once. I've had enough. I've had enough of chasing people and trying to change people. If I don't listen, I'll just pull the plug. That's it. In a nice possible way. Of course I would help him if he had a real problem, but I'm not going to be on a bumpy ride along with him. One funny thing about being in England is I always look at English people to see if I know them or not. Here I don't bother looking anywhere anymore because I know that no one knows me. And it's a weird thing because in Thailand you see someone white, English or American, you generally see that that person probably knows you somehow. But here it's just completely weird. Another thing about England is the slower pace. I've had stuff in my lungs for the last 3 weeks, unfortunately. Yeah, I've been travelling 114 miles a day on average, and my car rental says 100 a day, and then there's a penalty. So it took me 220 miles to get here, and 220 miles to get back to Coventry. So that's like 4 days worth, and I'm here for 3 days. So I need a few days in Coventry without driving around too much. So yeah, it's great not to be recognised. It's great to be in a slower pace. If you want to meet anyone, it's at weekends. People are busy during the week. And that's a really good thing about England, is that people have lives. They're busy. Like in Thailand, in Pattaya especially, people don't have lives and their focus is you, your businesses, Facebook groups. They're just bored all day. Yes, there are people that live in Farangland that are constantly in these groups, attacking everyone, trying to escape their miserable lives in Farangland. But in general, most people here are too busy to create problems. Obviously, the retired people here can often create more problems. So yeah, I've been thinking about the meaning of life and all that sort of stuff, watching my uncle have like a rough ending. I've been trying to do less and do more at the same time. So what I mean by that is think more smarter. Like instead of like researching things constantly and watching stuff on YouTube and trying to form myself to make it believe I'm learning, I'm actually just cutting all that out. And I'm actually like, today I was lying on a bed for an hour and I thought, sod it. One thing I learned is I go for a slash 3-4 times a night. And what I learned last night, if I lie down or for an hour a day, I'm standing up all day or I'm sitting on a chair, I'm driving. All the water's going down to my legs a little bit. I don't notice it, but when I'm lying down at night, my body and my kidneys are clearing all that water out. So what I'm going to do at night time is I'm going to lie down before I go to bed. So I'm not going for a slash 3 to 5 times a night. Another thing I've noticed here is Karens. They don't exist in Thailand yet. And I've seen a lot of angry, aggressive women as well. And driving as well. I mean, yeah, it's up to them, but I always felt like women should be women and men should be men, but I'm old fashioned and I'm disconnected, and that's why I'm in Thailand. So another thing I like about Britain is driving. People driving lanes are very disciplined. If you go around a 4-lane roundabout, you just know that most of the time they're not going to come in your lane. It's going to be fine. But at the same time, that makes it very complicated to drive. My wife is put off by all these lanes. Even I find it weird. I was going around a roundabout the other day, and this car needed to change lane late, but he indicated, and the car in front was just like beep, like he'd done something really bad. And I thought, Jesus Christ, the guy's just changed lane. He indicated, but here it's like you've just attacked someone verbally. And my mate goes, yeah, but that idiot should have like planned ahead. And I said, I've been driving around every day, hours every day. I don't know where I'm going half the time. I'm relying on sat nav, so sometimes I don't get it right. But now I'm paranoid. I just go around the roundabout again if I'm not in the right lane, and I've done that so many times now because if you get close to someone here, it's like a near miss. In Thailand, you can just squeeze in, nobody cares. Here, it's like, yeah, you got to indicate, head in advance, and don't push in, and all these sort of things. So there are pros and cons. It's a lot safer to drive here, but also there's a lot more angry people here, I think. And if I beep like that in Thailand, I'm going to probably have problems with someone. And because I've been living in Thailand for so long, when someone beeps at me, I get really angry. But I don't do anything about it, but I get really angry. It's an insult. I haven't got enough money for the resort at the moment. If anyone wants to help me with that, like a long-term loan, just let me know. I'm not really pushing it. We're going to try and get one room ready. Same story. It's cost me a bit of money to come here. I've got a few debts to pay back. There's one of my subscribers has been very helpful, lending me money during COVID. I'm going to pay him back in December. He hasn't asked me for it. He's happy, so we're all good. And I've got to give my dad back a bit of money as well. So if anyone wants to help me to resort, then that I appreciate that. And obviously, I'll help them out and give them advice, and I'll be there for them if they need it. So it could be almost like you buy my time, yeah. This is another one which I probably shouldn't talk about. I was approached by a bunch of people that are important to do a website that isn't technically legal in Thailand, and the money is absolutely insane. And there was a few issues. I don't have the money to invest. I got all the technical side sorted. I wasn't going to be doing the illegal bit. I was going to be the website guy, and the other people were going to do all the illegal stuff. If anyone's interested in anything like that, and they can inject some money into it, there's a big upside of it, but there's a long road to get it done. But I did a lot of research on this website, and I feel that me and a few other people can get the technical side done. We need someone to pay for all of the shit, and then we've got the other people, the Thai people, that can run all the dodgy side. So just ignore that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, everyone is busy and have a life as well. So I was looking around towns, Tamworth, Coventry, Cardiff, Milford Haven. I've been to all of them. Actually, scratch Milford Haven. I only went there to see my friend's media company. We didn't actually walk around the town, but it's very small. I went to Cardiff to see a very good friend of ours, and I really enjoyed that. We stayed in Quayside in an apartment. That was a really nice room. I stayed near my brothers in Iddesleigh as well for 3 days. I've been to Sleaford twice to visit a family friend, and I've been to Nottingham, Derby, where my brother is. And yeah, so I'm travelling around a lot. We actually got, I think from Milford Haven to Aberystwyth, it was only going to take not long at all, and we were going to go there for the Cliff Railway, and 9 miles away from Aberystwyth, the country lane got blocked with an accident, and we were sat in there for 2 hours. So I spent actually from Milford, I think it was two hours from Milford to Aberystwyth, and I only had 15 minutes left, 9 miles left. And we were stuck for 2 hours. So we were in the car for 4 hours that day. And my plan was to go to Shrewsbury Prison and then back to Coventry after Aberystwyth. So what we did is I stayed in a hotel in Aberystwyth, showed my family where I slept on the hill when we had a drunken night out and I lost my car keys because we were going to sleep in the car. And then the next day we drove to Devil's Bridge and we did the full 1 hour walk. I carried Vinny, 651 steps. Went to Shrewsbury Prison and then back to Coventry again. So I've noticed in town centres there's a lot of charity shops. You don't really get that in Thailand. Coffee shops, loads of coffee shops, bakeries. We don't have Holland and Barrett's in Thailand. I think that's an opportunity, but I think the Thais need to change their mindset a little bit Correct me if I'm wrong. There could be something alternative. I know it's a lot of Jobsworth and Karen's in. I know I mentioned Karen's before, but in England, everyone kind of gets in your face. In Thailand, people just mind their own business. I find that I get a little bit angry about that because I don't like people telling me what to do, and that's one of the reasons why I moved to Thailand. So I found a local magazine in Coventry with had adverts on for business owners. I looked at a load of them. They don't have decent websites. Some have no websites. Some have poor graphics. Many of them no Facebook adverts, no Google adverts, very few reviews, crap social media. If I was going to live in Thailand, in England for a while, what I'll do is I'll market to all of these companies. I'll say, look, I'll say your website, I'll do your Facebook adverts, but everyone's trying to do Facebook adverts now. I'll do your Google adverts, or I'll just say sod you all because no one believes in advertising and stuff. I'll get the leads and I'll sell them to you. That's another one I would do, but that's just because it's my thing. If I stayed in Coventry longer, I would learn Chinese and I would find some Facebook. I would make some Facebook stuff for Chinese and groups, and possibly find some Chinese people to work with where we can sell services to Chinese, because Chinese trust Chinese people. I see the Germans going to German people for services in Pattaya. One funny thing I notice, whenever we see Thai people, my missus just gets a bit of attitude off them. I think because they think they live here that they're more important, or they just generally don't like each other in England. And we've seen some on holiday, but they're white Bangkok Thais, so they probably wouldn't be very friendly with my missus because she's dark skinned. I'm hoping I gave some value there. There's one more. Oh yeah, the business that I'm possibly going to be involved in England, I can't really talk about at the moment, but it's kind of, let's say SEO and internet marketing. I'll be doing that side of things, and if it can make me good money, then that's great. I've monetized my trip. I always say if you travel somewhere, try and monetize it. I enjoy business. I enjoy doing things. I'd rather sit and look at businesses all day. How much are things for rent? I've been looking at job places. How much are people paying for jobs? There's a huge job shortage of people now. Maybe I could open a job recruitment agency and have use my methods of how we find people for jobs. There's loads of options here. I found a job, £150 a day as an electrician. I could turn up for that. That would be funny, but I don't think I can do it. I think some of my family would have more respect for me if I did an honest job. They think I'm just having days off and I don't do any real work, but that's just the way family are, isn't it? And I see a lot of people tethered by a fixed mindset here. It's very, very frustrating to see people working minimum wage, people that you love getting treated like crap, and you're telling them it doesn't have to be like this, and they think it does, and they think that someone has to do this job. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be you. Anyway, I get very frustrated because I've grown a lot of a person. I've seen a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things. And I meet a lot of people here that are just doing the same sort of stuff. And it's lonely at the top. And also you become very distant. No one's really interested in what I've achieved or what I'm doing. I'm just a quiet guy when I go somewhere. I go in the shop, I'm the quiet guy. I don't really say anything. I like being underestimated because I feel like a sheep with a wolf inside, in a nice way. And I don't mind people trying to ask me to do things, but the minute they start pushing me, then the beast will come out, in a nice way, of course. So I kind of feel in England also that you get watched as well and not trusted. I was using my credit card and I didn't even sign it, and the lady was like, I don't think I can accept it. In Thailand, because you're white, you just get let away with anything. Because, not because you're colour, but because they assume that we're all rich before anyone gets excited. Don't be a racist or something. In Thailand, if you've got money, like if you're a foreigner, it doesn't matter what foreigner, apart from the poor ones, they assume you got money, and they assume you're telling the truth. It will change one day when more people that look like us are robbing things. But in England, obviously, I'm English, so I get treated with suspicion just like everyone else. But I don't dress to impress. I like to be seen as the sheep, and it's just where I've always been. And I kind of realised that I sabotage myself as well by acting dumb or stupid sometimes when I think that I'm more intelligent than what I know, and I could probably present myself better. But I love being underestimated. I just find it funny, and it really does expose people too. Okay, thank you very much. I've been talking for 30 minutes now. My wife is flying home on the 5th of November. I'll probably follow 3 to 5 days later. I'm missing Thailand, I'm missing the YouTube channel and everyone else. But once I've got this list of jobs to do, I've actually set up most of my stuff now. I promised myself no more projects unless someone gives me percent. I've got my own shit going on. We need to get resort done, the fight gear stuff done. There's other projects I'm trying to get nailed, and getting this solid work done is key. And I'm going to come back and hit the ground running, which means I'll be dieting, I'll be training, and I'll be doing this before I leave Thailand, England. Okay, thank you everyone, and thanks for sticking around. Cheers, bye.